guys, JayFerGaming here. Welcome to my new series on F1 2015. It doesn't look like F1 2015 at the moment, but I promise you it is. This is Bernie's Spin of Fate, and let me explain this series. Well, I'll be using this slot machine on my laptop to decide certain factors of the race. And why Bernie's, you say? Well, Bernie and the whole of F1 is making some crazy decisions at the moment. They can't decide all these qualifying rules and regulations, and in the past there's been other decisions like this which have absolutely baffled me. Things like double points, Abu Dhabi 2014, and the medal system instead of championship points determining who the champion is. And I'm gonna think that most of these decisions have been influenced by Bernie Ecclestone, so I'm dedicating the series to him. I'm not the biggest fan of him, but certain spins I'm going to determine what happens in the race. So I'll be spinning this slot machine. So first of all, this will be a 10 race series. So I'll spin the fruit machine. For example, Malaysia comes up. That will be the first race of the season. I will do that race. And then how long will the race be? I'm done with 100% races for now, I'll say that. But they're the three options. And then which team will I be? So for example, I pick out Ferrari. 10 races, 10 teams. I'll be driving every team in this season. Once I've driven as Ferrari, I can't drive as them again. So I will then spin again to determine which driver I will be. So you'd see Vettel and Raikkonen there. And then I'd spin which driver I'd be would determine who gets the points. So there's going to be 21 drivers in the standings. My name will be in there. So for example, I win the first race as Kimi Raikkonen. He will get 25 points and I will get 25 points. Just to keep the championship fair, because obviously the AI drivers would only be able to have 9 races if I drove as them. So this is something different. I hope you do enjoy this series. I've got a bit sick of the career mode for a little bit, but I'm thinking next career mode after this will be Jules Bianchi in the Marussia. So here we go. For the first race of the season, which track is it going to be? Bernie, spin the slot machine. We know this is how you come up with the rules in F1 these days. Let's go. And we are going to start with Bahrain. Oh, not one of my favourite tracks, but yeah, not too bad. Let's have a look how long the race will be. For this one, actually, I wouldn't mind a 5-lap race around Bahrain. Let's go. And the first race will be... Is it 50? No, it's 5 laps around Bahrain. That's not too shabby. And with these shorter races, I will just include the whole race in the video. With the 50% and 25%, I'll do shortened races, like just the highlights. So, which team are we going to drive around here? I think a good car around here would be... If I had to pick one of the lower cars, maybe a Force India, something like that wouldn't be too bad. So let's see which car we will be driving around the Bahrain International Circuit. Let's go. Please don't be Mana. Toro Rosso? Yes? Yeah, that's not too bad. I'm happy with Toro Rosso, but let's have a look which driver we will be driving as. I'm going to have to type this in. So, quickly type in for Verstappen, obviously. Sign for signs. And let's go. Which driver will be getting my potential points at the Bahrain Grand Prix? Spinning, I wouldn't mind being either one, it doesn't really matter. I will be Max Verstappen doing a 5-lap race around Bahrain for race 1 of the season. Let's do this. I've just realised from the slot machine when the crowd celebrate afterwards, that's really annoying and I can't talk over that, so I need to adjust that for the next episode. But here's the grid for the Bahrain Grand Prix. I did put 1 shot qualifying on and I didn't do a lap, so I'll be at the back. But Hamilton takes pole position from Vettel. Rosberg, Perez was up there in 4th. I think it creates a bit of a random grid, so I'm going to keep this going for the rest of the season. And I'm also going to start from the back of the grid for every race, so when I'm a Mana, that should be a very interesting race and definitely something to look forward to. Like, yeah, we'll be a Mana in Spa or something. That's going to be fantastic. But our teammates qualified 11th. From here, I think we're just trying to get any points we can because Bahrain's not one of our better circuits. Obviously, the Renault power unit in the back of the Toro Rosso isn't great around here. I could have done with like a Force India or possibly a Williams, but we'll try and make the best of it. First race of my new series. Bernie, what are you going to give me? Will I get some points from your selection? Let's do this. 5 lights and 5 laps around Bahrain, away we go. Got an okay getaway, not too much wheel spin, but we've lost a bit of ground to the two Manas. This reminds me of my Lewis Hamilton challenge, diving up the inside of the Manas and McLaren into every first corner which we go for. Just on the back of the Lotus, they were very slow there, and we've got a lot of oversteer there, trying to gain control of this car again. We've lost positions to the two McLarens, which we're going to have to try and gain back as quick as possible. I haven't done any practice before this, which probably doesn't help at all. So we're trying to make up a few positions up the inside of Grosjean as well. Up to 15th, now to try and get to the points if we can. Trying to pounce on Maldonado. No doubt the pack will be pretty slow around here, so a dive move up the inside will be necessary. Oh, that was so close, so close. A late dive move from Verstappen there. And we were so close to losing our front wing on the back of the Lotus of Maldonado there. Luckily, I just avoided him. I actually gained a couple of positions from it. Nearly got Hülkenberg as well, which would have been pretty lucky. But we're up to 13th. Touching distance of the points, just 3 more positions needed. But yeah, you can see already, straight line speed could be a bit of an issue, even with a custom setup on, which I've put on the car. And yeah, it might be in the corners where we do catch up. So trying to close in on Hülkenberg. And there's a bit of a queue ahead of us. I think it's Bottas who's battling with Kvyat, which is holding the pack back. My teammate Sainz is in the top 10, so we'll be trying to nick the point off him. Hopefully there isn't any negative team radio between us, just like in Australia in real life. But let's see if we have any decent straight line speed down here. Not the greatest attraction. Up to Rich Mix. And we're not really catching up to Hülkenberg, which is slightly worrying in the grand scheme of things in this race. He's going for a move on Ericsson ahead. Let's see if we can pounce on any contact or them two slowing each other up. They're still going side by side. Hülkenberg's going to go slightly wide. He's on the curb. He gets stuck there. So we get the opportunity of going for the move up to 12th. He's still there. We've got Ericsson in the way, so I might have to go for a dive up the inside of him as well. Hülkenberg's still sticking his nose in, but no. No position is... Actually, there's a yellow flag there. I think Hülkenberg just took Ericsson out. So yeah, he's helped me out a little bit. We're up to 11th. But there is a little bit of a gap to my teammate Carlos Sainz ahead. We're going to have to try and close that down if we want to have any chance of getting a point, unless there's going to be any contact at all. I've noticed in the few quick races I've actually done on this game that there seems to be a lot more contact than in like Season Challenge, for example, between the AI. So hopefully something like that happens and the top 10 just completely explode and we get a victory. But any point we'll do in this first race. In terms of like the championship overall, I'm not really aiming for the championship. I don't think that's realistic. This is more of an experimental series just to see how it goes. I wanted to do something different and hopefully you guys enjoyed as well. So back to the race. We're coming to the end of lap 2. We're not really closing in on our teammate. If anything, Hülkenberg is putting us under pressure behind, and especially with the Mercedes power unit in his car, he will definitely be a threat down the start-finish straight. And this time we won't have DRS as it hasn't been enabled, but I'm pretty sure he's going to go for a move here. He's closing in. I can see him in the mirror. We're trying to defend, squeezing him to the pit lane wall. We've actually got an achievement as well. Thank you game. We've completed 50 clean laps. That's a great way to start the first race of the series by getting an achievement. But we defended our position in 11th, and yeah, we're losing further time to Sainz. I don't have the greatest pace around here. I'm not really at one with this Toro Rosso. It's not a car that I've driven that often actually on this game. There's quite a few cars I've rarely driven, like the Ferrari for example. I'm a big Ferrari fan. I must have only done a couple of laps in the car, so yeah, it'll be interesting in this series driving in cars I haven't really driven, especially like the Mana for example. I haven't even touched the Mana. Didn't want to be anywhere near that car, but I'll have to do that for this series. So we're pretty much halfway through this race and we're seriously struggling with traction. The back end is stepping out all over the shop, and Hülkenberg might have an opportunity to go up the inside of us. It's a battle for 11th really. We need to get closer to the points if we can. We're defending around the outside. That's a great defensive move there. I'm very happy with that, but I'm pretty sure when we get to the start-finish straight, Hülkenberg will be on my tail once again. But you can see just ahead, 2 seconds is the gap to Sainz. He's in striking distance. We just need a couple of clean laps, and we could have an opportunity of taking 1 point from this. Usually I wouldn't be happy with that, but yeah, this Toro Rosso, I'm surprised by how little pace it has around here. Maybe it's me, maybe it's the car, maybe it's the setup, maybe it's a combination of all three things, but it doesn't seem to be working. And Hulkenberg's gone for it again. We're going to squeeze him once again, try and defend this position. We'd rather have 11th than 12th, obviously, but we're trying to get in the slipstream. And this could be a prime opportunity for a switchback, as he has gone for a very narrow line. I should have gone up a gear there. Kind of missed my upshift. So we've lost a bit of time. Are we going to go for a dive bomb here just to try and get 11th back? We're looking at it. Yes, we are. Hulkenberg's. I think Hulkenberg's gone wide, and we're continuing on in 11th. He's dropped a position to Felipe Nasr as well, and Nasr's on my tail now, so under pressure from the Sauber as well. But still, the gap to Sainz is 2 seconds. We can still get that point if we put in an epic final lap. But I do skip on to lap 5 here because nothing happened in the final half of that lap. And we're still trying to put the pressure on Sainz. We're trying to brake so late, but no, we've totally overcooked it. Stupid mistake there. Now we're going to be under pressure. We didn't rejoin the track very safely at all there, but we've blocked Nasr, who has Hulkenberg on his tail. So this should be a very interesting final lap with 2 cars on my tail, but I don't think we're going to get any points from this. We're defending from the Sauber, and we've maintained 11th. He's gone up the inside, he's taken it. Felipe Nasr with a great move there, takes 11th position off me, and now we've got to fight back. That's a pretty awful corner cut. I do apologise for that one, so I'm not going to go for dive bomb here. But as long as we stay on the back of Nasr, we should have a shot in the final sector, maybe in this DRS zone coming up. We'll have to wait and see, but Hulkenberg's ready to pounce. It's not for any points, it's more for pride, but it could be a very exciting finale to this race. We once again don't get great traction out of that corner. We've got a serious issue there, but we've got Rich Mix to the end of this race. Can we stay close enough to Nasr? We've got a great run here. We're right on his gearbox. I think we actually clipped his rear there. But can we get a decent exit? Yes, we can. We're staying very close, even with the dirty air effect. And if we get a great run down here, we should have an opportunity to take back 11th position. Lewis Hamilton has won the race. He takes the early advantage this season. And we're going for a run. My phone's just gone off as well. Thank you very much. Up the inside of Nasr. He's braking later than me, but I've got the move done. Up to 11th. And I'll just need some contact. Hulkenberg's taken out another Sauber. What is he doing with his life? What a crazy guy. He's taken out both Saubers in this race. But there we go. First race of the season is over. It's 11th position. Decent performance from the back. Verstappen looks very happy with my drive for him. But obviously there is no points on the board for us, which is a little bit disappointing, but it was a tricky one. Around one of my worst tracks, starting at the back in a Toro Rosso. Not really expecting too much. Maybe in a longer race I could have done better, but we'll wait and see next time out. So there's the result. The standings will be provided after this. I just need to go and create them now. But yeah, hope you've enjoyed the start of this new series. Please leave feedback if you do enjoy it. If you don't, please tell me. Subscribe if you want to see the rest of this series and other videos. And I'll catch you next time out in Race 2. Goodbye.